Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. So today, I wanted to read this Reddit post because I've been feeling apathetic lately. And so I wanted to talk a bit about my own apathy as I have reached obesity and therefore the next sort of era, the next struggle, and all these different things that I'm seeing are happening. It seems like every time I lose weight or I get to kind of the new level, I notice a new barrier or journey. And so I want to talk about it today, and I want to kind of try to work on my own motivation and try to look at what other people have said on the Reddit Loseit page in terms of apathy or motivation, these kinds of things, as I'm struggling with that right now. So let's go ahead and read the post and then we'll get into their responses. So this says, how do you guys handle apathy? I hate being overweight, but when I get cravings, I stop caring. My priority is no longer maintaining a healthy diet. I will consciously acknowledge how bad it might be as I'm cooking my second pizza of the day, and I won't care. How can I practice willpower if my will isn't consistent? I think what's happened to me at this time is I've finally reached a more normal weight loss era. I think getting to this point that I've gotten to, I feel very typical. I feel like my biggest issues now are willpower and apathy, motivation, these kinds of things. It's a lot less of like mental barriers of morbid obesity or physical barriers of super morbid obesity. It's more about being tired, unmotivated, and wanting to be indulgent. I'm feeling that way a lot. And I don't think it helps that we're getting towards the holidays. And I want to continue this year. Like, I have a lot of reasons why I want to. And I guess I can tell you guys some of them. I have a timeline where I want to be done losing weight by January of 2026. I want to be completely done. I'm giving myself, a little bit more than a year longer of this, but it's difficult. Losing weight is tough. Coming from a very big size, it's a years long process. I want to be where I want to be by 2026, which means that I need to keep going. As you guys know, who have been on my channel a lot longer, I've been doing a pro-thyroid, pro-metabolic style of weight loss. My metabolism is faster than it was 2 or 3 years ago, and it's difficult for me to stop losing weight in the first place. I had this experience last December where I was trying to take a break from weight loss, but I couldn't stay out of the deficit due to financial constraints and the fact that my job is physical, like I walk a lot, and the fact that food is so expensive. I could not afford to eat enough to stay out of a deficit, essentially, last December. And also, my metabolism was faster. So it was just difficult. It was a difficult, weird position to be in. So I decided to just continue losing weight in the winter, and I've been losing all year. And a lot of those constraints still exist today. Like, it's still really challenging to afford to eat more, honestly. And it's kind of like I still have to work a lot. I still have to do a lot of stuff. And so I really, like, for financial reasons, have to stay losing weight. I also, like I said, I have a goal of losing weight and being done by 2026. Like, I want my complete transformation to be over by then because I want to be at maintenance. Like, I really need to get to maintenance. Like, I'm kind of exhausted with it, to be honest. So I think that's another huge reason why I want to continue this autumn. I don't, there are certain other aspects in my life, but I just don't want to lose momentum, right? I don't want to disinspire you guys, right? And I think tackling this aspect of weight loss, it's something for activistic reasons that could be very helpful, because I think I'm reaching problems that a lot of people have. Like, probably a vast majority of people have issues like this. So I think it's just good to do for the experience as well, because then in the future I can know what to do. But for now, I want you guys to kind of bear with me because I'm figuring this out. This is something I've never really experienced. I would appreciate any of your guys' advice in the comments below for how to stay motivated, and let's see what people here say. Okay. I experienced something similar, but it's not passive enough to call it apathy. It's more like self-disregard. I will think things like, do I care if I'm a fat person forever? No, fuck it. But what it really is insecurity, I think. This entails big personal changes. Our conscious self is on board, but the other parts of us, the subconscious and autonomic systems, are freaking out because we are changing, and change is scary. So you get all these messages that try to tempt you into not changing. For instance, believing that you don't care, you want another pizza. It's easy to just fall back into old familiar habits. Yeah, that's another aspect that I'm experiencing a lot, is I'm really craving taste. I thought I wasn't going to ever be a foodie again, but I've found myself like wanting certain foods for taste, for flavor. Like, I could not resist candy corn today. I just wanted it so bad. And I still count it and all that, which is fine, but I didn't choose it for, like, in the past, I would choose it for stimulation or metabolic reasons. And in the deep past, when I was in the toxic ritualistic mindset, I would eat things out of anxiety. That wasn't happening either. It's like I'm choosing this food because I want to indulge, which is weird. It's weird for me, I think, because I've been so extremely serious through so much of this journey, and to reach this like brat era that I've been talking about, where I'm not as serious, I don't feel as serious. It is difficult. And I still am on track, like at this point, but I do think it will get harder as time goes on. So I'm I'm not trying to like freak anybody out or anything. I don't know if you guys would be freaked out, but it's like, I'm nervous about this time. I'm nervous about continuing the whole time, because like the whole year, I mean, because it's like, can I really do this year? I think about last year too, where I gained 10 pounds in November, and I'm just like, am I going to be able to do this? And I think I can, because honestly, it's a lot easier. And I think sometimes in life, when things are easier, it's like we just don't, it's like you develop a sense of apathy, So I don't know. I'm struggling with that sort of feeling of complacency right now. I'm not going to listen to it, but I wonder, like, I definitely need to think of some strategies to deal with it. And like I said, I'm taking ideas from you guys, absolutely, because I'm okay right now, but I don't know how it will go later, as the months go on. Like, and I need to continue because I have goals and I have things that I want to do, and I need to do it, if that makes sense. Anyways, sorry. But yeah, I understand that. I'm starting to get into the I want taste phase. It really, for me, has been a battle of wills between my mind and my body. I have made it as easy as possible for me to eat right, setting up snacks in advance and filling up on salad, and by simply doing it. I have found the urge to blow it off is gradually leaving. Okay. I hardly ever crave my trigger foods anymore, and when I do indulge, they aren't that impressive because the mental addiction component is going away. It's just food, and I don't need to eat it anymore. This just happened to me this week, so it's all pretty new to me, but it's a pretty awesome feeling. So what I will say to this too is this aspect I felt a lot with the freaking out because we're changing and all that. Change is scary. This came up a lot for me in morbid obesity. It was more so that phase. I don't feel scared. And I think sometimes fear can be a motivator, and it's difficult sometimes when you don't feel any fear. Like, I oftentimes now in my obesity, there are a lot of times where I don't feel anything, and I'm not used to that feeling of just complete apathy, which I think honestly it probably has to do with like low dopamine in obesity, which if you guys Google that, people with dopamine or people that are obese have lower dopamine. It's another reason to lose weight, by the way, but it makes it difficult to lose because it's like I don't have that adrenaline fear or that like weird serotonin-y whatever the hell was going on over the past couple of years. And then I still have like a lower dopamine. So it's really hard to be motivated, or I'm noticing like I'm having to tap into willpower a lot. And it's not because I'm hungry. It's not because I'm tired. It's not because I need nutrients or I'm having an anxiety attack. Like, it's nothing. It isn't any of that. It is literally just like I feel lazy. I feel indulgent. I feel like I don't want to do it anymore at times. But like I said, I do have my reasons and I'm going to stay on track. I think I will do this for sure. But it's like I feel that way. And that's difficult because I'm constantly having to say no, 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 no. So I'm kind of more so in that mode. And I think I'm understanding too why a lot of like weight loss people and like the anti-FA people and the fitness people, why they're all talking about willpower so much. I think in previous eras of weight loss, it wasn't as important, but I'm finding it really important right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because as I told you guys, for health reasons, I'm remembering, I need to stay out of morbid obesity this winter. So I need to get lower anyways and stay out so that I can set myself up to fulfill my goals next year. Because if not, I could really delay things and I don't want to. So it's difficult. I'm sorry if this video is weird. I gotta get some feelings out, I guess. Okay. You're making it too easy on yourself to slack. Don't keep a bunch of crap in the house. I crave junk a lot, but I've managed to keep my intake down to almost none by simply not having it readily available. Do I really want those Doritos? Because if I do, I have to get the dog, put in the kitchen, lock up the house. Where are my shoes? I need my wallet. See what I mean? So I agree with this. Like, I don't really keep excess food in the house. Like, I know this is kind of neurotic and weird, but I'm very much a person where I like to go to the grocery store every single day. I've gotten a lot of hate for that decision, but I've literally done it for 10 years, which I know is kind of insane to think about. There have been moments now where I have bulk bought occasionally, but it has helped me because, like, if I really wanted to eat right now, I do have food, but it's like meat patties. It's like not candy or something. I don't have something like that. And I feel like I would be tempted for lack of willpower reasons if that was in the house. So I agree with this. I do. Because I did get candy today, but I had to go to the store to get it, And I kept it within my deficit and all that. And I have to go to the gym today too, which that's a whole other thing. Gosh. Can't believe I have to. I mean, sorry, I'm just, it's a lot. Because it's like I worked all day, then filming, then the gym. It's like, this is tough, you guys. Like, holy crap, it's tough. And like I said, I don't have all that like fear and inner turmoil and tortured lesbianism that I had over the rest of the year. I don't have the death knocking down my door like I did when I was super morbidly obese. I don't have any of that anymore. So I'm just like, it's just quiet. It's like my mind is so quiet now that I feel like I'm constantly just looking for some stimulation or something. It's really tough. And I don't even think the food actually even does anything, because I did love the taste of the candy corn and I really enjoyed it. I definitely really enjoyed it, but it didn't like change my state of mind or anything. Like I don't, or it didn't soothe, or I don't know. It didn't do anything really mentally for me. You know, it was just a nice experience. I'll put it to you that way. And it's like, it didn't do anything. So I think my brain is changing too, where it's like the relationship with food that I had, it's different. It's very different. And maybe the brain is healing, you know. So I think there's good to this, but it's tough, you guys. Let me know if you guys ever felt like this, you know. It's tough. Okay. If you find that you can't stop yourself from making pizza, then try making a pizza that's at least better for you. You'd be amazed at how delicious cauliflower crust can be if you take the time to do it right. Use a low-fat cheese with plenty of veggie/lean meat toppings and a low sugar sauce. All the indulgence of pizza with much less guilt. Okay. I don't like the term guilt here. That's a little bit, that's too much for me. But I do agree with like lower calorie stuff. I think what I might need to do, I might need to go a bit more into a foodie era, because I think that could be stimulating for me to develop more cooking skills and like lower calorie cooking skills, and kind of work on that this autumn and winter, and brat autumn, possibly brat winter as well, probably. And just work on that sort of creative indulgence in cooking, because I don't really do that. As I told you guys, I haven't really been a foodie. And so I probably should, because I think next year it's going to be tough, you guys. Like 2025 is going to be really difficult for my journey, because it's going from obese to not anymore at all, and then from that to like very much in shape, and it's going to take a lot of work to get there. And like I said, I want to at least be at my goal of 17% body fat by January 2026. If I want to keep going from there, that's a different thing, right? But I'm going to take a break after that, or I'm going to take a break at some point. I don't know. Ugh, gosh, who knows? But the point is, next year's going to be really hard. I know it will be, because it's going to be like brutal workouts, a much deeper, you know, or like a lower deficit. Actually, I might have to just go to 1 pound per week, honestly, because I don't want to lose a bunch of muscle and stuff when I'm doing that. But it's like, it's going to be a lot of workouts, and it will be that kind of thing. So I should probably develop these skills now, because then if I need to have lower calorie stuff next year, especially as I'm trying to get in good shape rather than working towards average shape, good shape takes more effort than average. So I want to get there. And so I think I need to work on this. This is becoming like a diary of my feelings. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just really trying to work some stuff out right now. I hope you guys are okay. Let me know. I guess don't let me know. Whatever. Don't tell me you don't like it. Then I'll be mad. No, I'm just kidding. I'm all over the place right now. Just leave me alone. Oh my God. I'm so crazy. Do you see? Gosh, my brain is going nuts. Okay. Anyways, let's stop. Focus. Okay. Focus, low dopamine brain. Focus. All the way down. That's funny. That's a funny username. When people tell you that you look awesome and you realize it's because of your hard work, it's really hard to eat junk food and give all that up for an extra slice of pizza. Oh gosh, I don't like this mindset at all. I think that's too much. But I kind of understand. I understand. I think in terms of like my activism, my anti-fat acceptance activism, it's really important to continue. I think it would be a very, very good attack against fat acceptance to continue. And that does motivate me, which I guess it takes whatever it takes, right? Like, I get that I'm like, as Taylor would say, I get that I'm Miss Americana over here, and this channel is my documentary, but it's like, that does motivate me personally for activistic purposes to continue to lose. So while it's not so much about like the people pleasing aspect, it's more so about like, gosh, like I could really just, oh my gosh, just butcher fat acceptance if I continued further, just totally wreck it basically, and just like do like a huge offensive attack to continue to lose this year when I haven't been able to in previous years. So I could prove that it's getting easier and all this stuff. Like that motivates me. That's motivating. So yeah, because honestly, it would be like an extra slice of pizza or something. It would be something like that. That's in between me and like a lot of these goals I have, because it's more foodie-ish, And it's like, I wouldn't need the slice of pizza. I'm not hungry. I'm not, I'm not doing super poorly hypothyroid wise. I don't need it. My mental health isn't all over the place. Like, I'm not doing all that anymore. I'm okay. So it would literally just be, I want an extra slice of pizza because I want to be indulgent, because I want to be brat. And it's like, no, I have to be a higher minded brat. It's like I have to tell myself, is it brat to eat the pizza? Ugh, it is, but it's like lower level brat. Like higher level brat is like just having a huge offensive attack against fat acceptance. That's bigger. That's a bigger level of brat. It's like I have to tell myself that. Like, that's more brat. That's supreme brat. That's just ultimate brat. And it's like, no, I have to do it. I have to be ultimate brat. Like, I have to, I just have to. So no, I'm not going to have an extra slice of pizza. I can't talk because I love pizza and eat it more often than I should. But I work it into my diet. I've noticed the thing that makes me eat more pizza is the amount of sugar that's in it. The sauce has sugar. The dough has sugar. The dough is made of wheat that turns to sugar. Try making your own with a low-carb pita, tomato paste, and turkey pepperoni sausage with low-fat cheese. It may not be as epic as your favorite pizza pie, but it may kick the desire to keep eating pizza. I don't know if that advice would help me, because I already make I make a cassava flour pizza, so I haven't had a pizza in a long time, but I might. So that might help. I think I just need a little bit more variety too. Like, I really need to work on this. I think I need to work on being more of a foodie. I think that's definitely something I need to do, because I've been eating so basic and so like just ingredient foods, and I think it's boring me absolutely to death. So I'm going to have to start doing other stuff. I think that's something I'm getting from this. So thank you, Reddit. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I can easily eat 2 medium pizzas if I want to, but it's because I know I can. That's why I'm on alert and not letting my guard down with certain foods. Yeah, I don't feel like I have to have my guard and all this stuff. I just feel like I need to, I don't have that type of feeling. I just feel like I don't want to be a lazy piece of shit. I know that that's bad to say, but honestly, that's what I feel like. I'm like, ugh. Like, I don't have an excuse. I don't. I'm going to tell you guys now, like, unless the things like drastically change towards the end of the year, which they could, but they probably won't. If I start to feel very, very sick physically, or if I start to have a lot of different issues like I usually do this time of the year, then that would be different. Like, if I have physical issues and I have to like slow down or take a break or something, that's different. But I'm not really anticipating that. And if I don't have those physical issues and I just decide not to lose weight this autumn, it's literally because I'm being a lazy piece of shit and because I'm lacking discipline and willpower. And that's horrible. And I don't want to be that stereotype either, because I don't think it's always the case for everybody, but I think I'm reaching that phase in the journey where it's becoming the case. Where if I choose to like have an extra slice of pizza, it's not going to be because I'm hungry. It's going to be because I'm just being indulgent or tired or any of these things. It's just indulgence. So, yeah, this is a good one. Hate to sound like a jerk, but essentially it comes down to how serious you are. I think that's a good point. That's something that at this phase in the journey, for me personally, I wouldn't say this to everybody, right? But from where I'm at, this is an important thing for me to hear. How serious am I? I'm serious. I am. Okay. Remember that. It's like, remember that, low dopamine brain. You're serious about this. It's like, yes, I am. If you really want to change, you'll stop yourself from eating that second pizza. Apathy is an excuse. It's not a problem. You are the problem. You let yourself use this excuse and give up every time. You have to find what motivates. I can't find it for you. Yes. Like I said, I typically am not into the like brutal weight loss advice, but I think where I'm at right now, and maybe where a lot of people get to, or where a lot of people even start, this helps. Because it is an excuse. Like, I'm not physically ill. If I chose to not go to the gym tonight, it would be out of laziness. Personally for me, I can sleep in tomorrow. So I can still go late at night. I don't have to not go. I'm not ill. I'm not injured. I'm not in pain. I'm not starving. I'm not depressed. I'm not anything. I'm not tortured. I'm not any of that. So if I chose not to go, it would be because of apathy, or it would be laziness or an excuse. And I think it's important for me to look at that and realize, like, you're here now, Alex. If you don't do this, it's because you are just choosing not to. You are just being lazy. You are just making excuses. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person, Okay, so this person is the OP. Oh my gosh, it triggered the OP. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. I know this is brat for me to laugh at this. Whatever, I'm not apologizing for brat. My hair looks crazy. I'm apathetic. I'm crazy. I'm brat. We're laughing. I'm sorry, but that's funny that the person got triggered. You don't sound like a jerk, but you do sound extremely ignorant to how the human psyche works. There are so many factors and layers to it that you're ignoring, and you're boiling it down to, well, why don't you just stop being fat? If you're still fat, you just don't want to lose the weight. Yeah, I think this is where the nuance comes in. I don't know how big this person is. I think if you're really big, I think it is a bigger issue than that. But as a lot of you guys in my audience have said, and as I'm now experiencing, when you're not as big, it really does become, why don't you just stop being fat? So I want you to take that and not take it as me bragging, me being mean, me being any of that. Take it as a hope that if you lose weight, you will reach a point where it becomes, why don't you just stop being fat? Because I feel like I've made it to that point. And for the record, altogether, it took me from March of 2021. In terms of losing the weight, it took me from August of 2022. So it took me over 2 years. And I had to stop. I had to stop and go. I put weight back on. I took it back off, right? Like, it was a lot over those 2 years and change. And I'm here now where I can just look in the mirror and tell myself, why don't you just stop being fat? And I can, because I'm physically healthier. I'm mentally healthier. I can stop if I want to. So if I decide not to, it's probably an excuse. And that's difficult. it's a little bit difficult for me to realize because that is a huge shift, you know? But I want you to understand that I don't view it this way for you if you are morbidly obese or super morbidly obese. I understand. But at the same time, at this new level of obesity, I have to be a little harsher with myself to keep it going, and not in like a nasty way. Like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, I hate my body. Like, I'm not saying that. It's just, I have to kind of be like, apathy is an excuse. Just kind of a more brutal way of looking at it. It's an excuse. I think that's true. You know, it wasn't true. It wasn't true. Sorry, I don't know what the heck I just clicked on. It wasn't true. Years ago, it wasn't. So I think that's also what makes the weight loss conversation so difficult to process. No, I'm not. Just like if an alcoholic is apathetic to their addiction, then there isn't anything that can be done. People need to have the desire to change themselves. Yes, I understand those cravings and urges, but if you're not willing to try and throwing in and eating a second pizza says that to me, then what can I say to even make this person change their mindset beyond what I said? I do understand that a person, whether it be an alcoholic or a food addict, will have weak points. Relapse happens, but you need to try first in order to hit those points. The OP doesn't even sound like she's trying. This is the OP, I believe. Yeah, that is the OP. So what I will say is I don't agree with this. I don't agree with comparing like toxic ritualistic mindsets or E followed by the D with that sounded kind of naughty, didn't it? Anyways, oh my gosh, I'm such a brat. Sorry. Oh my gosh, focus. I'm like literally having a fight with myself right now. So what I will say is I don't agree with calling E followed by the D. I don't agree with calling that an addiction. It's not the same. It's a compulsion, which can be similar. And I get it. It can be similar to an addiction, but it's not the same. It isn't the same thing. You're not going to get the shakes from not having some candy. You won't. It's purely psychological. And I think that is a toxic ritualistic mindset to consider it a physical addiction. And I will continue to say that. I know it makes people mad, but it's true. And it's still true. Anyways, okay. The most successful alcoholic program is AA, and it's because it doesn't force people to come. They have to make that step, and it makes them admit their problem and have the desire to change it. Yeah, I don't know if this mindset would help me at this time. I think this is too, like, I don't know. The other thing about it, too, is that when it comes to, like, toxic ritualistic behavior, coming at yourself with a negative label as addict, it becomes another thing to kind of beat yourself up with, because a lot of people don't understand that at its core, toxic ritualistic behavior is a form of SH. I can't say that on YouTube, but it's a form of, causing yourself pain. I'll put it to you that way. So a lot of times calling yourself an addict, it's a way of making yourself feel worse because you're trying to create pain so that you can control the pain of your anxiety and a lot of times situations in life. And a lot of people view it as if it's a substance abuse issue, but it's not. I need you to think about it more like the E followed by the letter D, where you're not eating enough, because it's much more similar to that. So I don't agree with this. I don't think this is helpful. This comment was probably not at all helpful for this person. And to be honest, this aspect is still not helpful. It still isn't, because I don't think it's the same to where that label will actually help. I don't think it helps. I've known so many people who claim to be a food addict that always fail and never get out of it. And I don't refer to myself as that. And even the scientific evidence behind it is shaky. So I don't agree with it. Again, you can have your points. I'm not going to attack anybody for believing differently. But my point is, I am actually losing it, and I don't identify as that. I don't think it's helpful. And I'm going to say that. I don't. I don't think it's helpful in this circumstance. Okay. Anyways. Okay. The OP on this post stated when she gets cravings, she doesn't care, which in my opinion means she doesn't have the desire to change her habit. I'm boiling it down to if you don't try, then you're not going to have a chance at succeeding, and blaming on your attitude rather than yourself, a scapegoat attempt, is not going to help you. I think this is true. See how there's some aspects that are helpful and then some that aren't. And unfortunately, when people comment, typically the person in the issues, or in physical issues of supermorbid obesity, you're just really hungry. You're very hungry. You're very tired. You're very ill. And oftentimes you need more food or hyperpalatable food to function at all. And a lot of people don't get that. And a lot of people are trying to work and they can't function at work without eating candy or something. And then people hear that and they're like, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. That's a little bit different. I understand that. I've been there. It's different. However, at obesity, I don't. It would be an excuse today. So it's very difficult. That's why I think our conversations about obesity are so ineffective a lot of the time, because you really have to look at it on an individual basis and where a person is. And I'm continually fascinated by this journey as I go further down, because I didn't really expect this, to be honest. I didn't. The OP needs to realize they are the only thing holding them back. Okay. It's true of me at this point. So I don't know if that's true of the OP, but that is true of me. That's true of Brat Alex. That is true. I am the only thing holding me back right now. That's 100% true. I don't have the mental issues of morbid obesity. I don't have the physical ones of super morbid obesity. If I don't do it, I'm pretty damn sure it's me holding myself back. Unless if my health takes a shit throughout the rest of the year, which I really don't think it will, because I'm really not at that bad of a place anymore. And it's difficult for me to adjust to that, to understand that. It's such a blessing. It is such a blessing. I could almost cry about it if I really think about it. But it is difficult to process that shift. And these kinds of statements, in my opinion, are helpful towards me right now. This is helpful. Labeling isn't helpful, but this is. She can either make a conscious, albeit difficult decision to eat better, through many different means, or she can take the easy, quick satisfaction of eating that second pizza. Yeah, so like I said, I think delayed gratification for ultimate brat is better than a simple-minded brat. I need to be a higher-minded brat. Stop keeping the extra pizza in the house. I think that's a good strategy. For me, so far, it's been about allowing myself to have the bad things sometimes. Okay. A lifestyle change is unsustainable, usually if it's about restricting the shit out of yourself. Last night, I wanted Taco Bell, so I went to Taco Bell and grabbed a burrito. One burrito. I logged it into MyFitnessPal. My fast food craving is gone. Okay, that was what I tried to do today with the candy corn. And to be honest, it is. I wouldn't eat Taco Bell personally because I still am a hypo girly pop and I need to keep my hypothyroidism in check, and the seed oils and all the crap that's in Taco Bell and fast food is just horrible. If I were to eat that, I would feel like absolute trash, and it could possibly stop me from continuing to lose, or it could really derail me. That may not be true, though, when I'm no longer fat. It might be a different circumstance. So, it depends. It's still always shifting, which is, it makes it difficult to talk about. But anyways, we'll see how that goes. But I'm not going to be doing that. But as far as like the candy and stuff, it's not going to derail my thyroid or anything. So it's kind of like that part of it is fine. And I do feel more satisfied. I am going to the gym tonight. I won't be doing it when it's not on gym days. Does that make sense? So I think I need to figure out to have more flexibility, but not necessarily like if I have candy today, that means I have it every single day, because I don't need it all the time. I used to need sugar, which people really hated it when I said that, but I did, especially because I was so active. As I was losing and really, really big, I needed quick energy because I don't have bread and stuff like that. So it's like I needed carbs like that. But now I don't. So it's kind of like I need to practice that. You do a little indulgence here and then you don't. And then you do your thing again and then you kind of go and you just kind of do this. I think I need to learn to have that flexibility to make it through bra autumn. So I'm going to have to figure this out. I'm learning. This is giving me some ideas. You're giving me ideas, Reddit. That's what this is. That's what this video is. It's ideas. Okay. We're thinking. I think you have to retrain yourself to be okay with having some of something, but not all of it. Yeah, I had a little bag. It was a little girly pop bag. And if you do fall down and eat a couple pizzas, pick your ass back up the next day and move forward. Yes, that's good. This isn't about hating yourself and making yourself miserable. It's about creating a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. I agree with that. Okay. It's funny, but the thing that stopped me from going complete all out was the idea that I was still young enough that I could turn it around. At 16, I was overweight, but I'm pretty sure I would have been morbidly obese if it wasn't for the fact that I was 16. Interesting. I do think it's good to get it under control younger. I do. I got to 18 and I was obese, still held back a bit on binging, thinking that if I got to 25 or so and still hadn't gotten back into shape, I'd just completely go full hog and eat everything I wanted. Oh my gosh. When I got to 20, I realized that if I didn't make a change now, that I never would. And I'd get to 25 and be able to justify to myself that there's no point trying. There is a point trying, and I am. Yeah, this isn't exactly true. What I will say for age is it can be slower, and there is a difference post 25 for sure. There is. But a lot of times it's chalked to hormone issues, which you can address, but it takes time. I started my healing journey in March of 2021. I couldn't sustainably lose weight or start losing weight until August of 2022. And I had to take the autumn and winter off of weight loss, like half of autumn and winter off in 2022 and 2023. I started losing again in March. And then that year after, in 2023, I still had to stop in November and December. And then I was able to pick it back up in January. So it takes years often. Like if you're older, it can be years. So it can take a lot longer. And if you get into morbid or super morbid, especially super morbid, it can take a long time to sustainably get out. So I always advocate to not get into it. If I would have started losing right at obesity, like where I'm at right now, it would have been so much easier. And I'm going to tell you that. And if you are obese, do not become morbidly obese. If you're morbidly obese, do not become super morbidly obese. Do not reach another category. It is much harder in those categories, okay? But age can be a part of that. The longer you're at those levels, it takes more strictness or more time to get it back under control. So it's difficult. Okay, anyways, I'm almost 21 now. I know that if I don't get in shape soon, I'm never going to have the motivation to do it. I don't know if this strategy is working for this person. Having been obese, though, I know that once I'm healthy, I'll stay that way. That's not necessarily true if you just go back to old habits. You have to be careful and make sure that you don't have the toxic ritualistic mindsets that will lead you to regain it. I'm currently overweight. Okay, that's good. But in the last 6 months, I've dropped more out of the obese category to get there. In 6 months' time, I'll be in the healthy category. God damn it. That's good. So I don't know if this person has like serious mental issues or anything. It doesn't necessarily sound like it, but I would just be wary that if those issues are there, you need to address it, which I did a lot of that. So much of that. Anyways, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is such a weird video, but I honestly just needed to like kind of brainstorm and process where I'm currently at and ask you guys for help in certain ways, like in terms of apathy and motivation and things like that, and get your thoughts. Let me know if you guys experienced apathy, what you did to help yourself. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. Peace.